There is life, even in death, much as death lingers among those who are alive. Sometimes it is only when the last heartbeat ceases and the final breath leaves that one's journey in life has only begun. Except, in this story, there is not one, but two who open a door to life through a chance encounter with death. A long, long time ago, two tiny lives were born to a wealthy nobleman and his wife. Rosalie and Lillian, Rose and Lily. Identical yet unalike. Different yet the same. The solemn mansion of the nobleman for once was finally alight with the innocent giggles of their newborn heiresses. A pair of twin daughters sent down to them by the heavens. They were as beautiful as the first bloom in spring, bright as the first ray of sun in the morning. Yet, for these unknowing little souls, a fate doused in pain is what awaits them beyond the door of their peaceful nursery. Abundance does not always bring comfort. A life of privilege may sometimes come in exchange for happiness. The master of the house was a revered, wealthy man, yet his heart never harbored love, not even towards his own flesh and blood. Black and white, white and black. For as long as they could remember, the twins, Rose and Lily, only knew a world of monochrome, with not a single dash of color in sight. Exactly how their father dictated. One wearing short, straight hair, the other crowned in long, gentle waves. This is the only means for others to tell them apart. With each passing year, their innocent beauty was consumed by the ruthless repression of their father and the negligence of their mother. In this enormous mansion, their only solace is the presence of their twin counterpart.
We'll always have each other, right?
We will always be together.
They were born in their mother's image and shaped into their father's ideals, but it was never enough. They tried to do what they were told, but somehow they were always wrong. Behind them, words of mouth whispered wildly like a bushfire in the heat of summer.
The nobleman needs a son, and yet he was sent 2 daughters.
No wonder they do not belong in that house.
What can 2 girls even do except be married off to another house?
Aren't they just pitiful? I almost feel bad for them.
Those girls are bound for failure.
Judgment and prejudice. The influence of their parents grew far larger than they could contain, enshrouding their own thoughts and freedom. They thought it would be alright if they were good. They thought their parents would come to love them if they behaved. However, the long-awaited release from this suffering never came their way. Instead, the darkness only expanded, bigger and deeper, until one day, they could bear it no longer. It was a night darker than any of them could remember. A thunderstorm had descended, flooding lands and rivers. All was quiet in the nobleman's mansion, as though the squall had swallowed even cries and voices. An oppressive silence, a desolate evening, just like always. However, A flash of lightning soon revealed the terror taking place within the walls of the affluent house.
Father, have mercy!
Father, please forgive us.
Yet their pleas fell upon deaf ears. The tyrannical master of the house has no compassion for the daughters he never loved. And his cruel words eventually took shape into an act of terrible violence. The twins could only cower in fear, holding on to each other as they bore the pain of his fist. They could not cry for help. They could not ask for salvation. Even their beautiful mother turned a blind eye, pretending there was nothing out of line for her to witness. It was then that the two realized they truly had no place in this house.
We cannot remain here any longer.
Let's get out of here, you and I.
So they fled the prison that was their birth home, hand in hand with what meager belongings they had, into the outside world with no destination in mind. The chilling night wind slapped against their tender cheeks. The downpour wet their hair and dresses. Their shoes were covered in mud. Nevertheless, it was better than remaining trapped in that wretched house. At the very least, they were now free. So they ran, and ran, and ran, and ran, and ran. Through the rain and the wind, the heat and the chill, days passed and seasons changed. They didn't know how far they'd gone, how much further they could still go. Their clothes had become tattered, and their faces gaunt. With no more food or water on their person, and no place to rest their bodies, exhaustion soon caught up to them. And after that, the illness known as mortality.
Lily? Are you there?
I'm here.
I think I sprained my ankle. What about you?
I don't know. I think I'm the same.
I'm sorry. It looks like we cannot run anymore.
Me too. Maybe this is as far as we go.
We will always have each other, right?
We will always be together.
Well, well, well. What do we have here?
A tall figure emerged from the darkness, black cloak swirling in the shadows, long silver hair faintly glimmering under the hood. A pair of piercing purple eyes glowed amid the stillness of the night. A creature that thrives in the dark. An old soul that had mastered death long, long ago. Who now prided himself in the elegance of his permanence. In light footsteps that barely left a trace as he walked, the mysterious figure calmly strode out of the forest and into the meadow, whereupon his gaze was drawn towards an unusual yet intriguing sight.
Now what are two fair maidens such as you doing out here at this hour? Have your parents never told you it's dangerous to wander so late in the night?
He saw the twin girls, ill and emaciated, holding on to each other with the last remaining strength they could muster. There was fear in their eyes, but at the same time, a determination stronger than their thin legs could hold. How foolish, he thought, and at the same time, how endearing. He had intended to feast upon their blood, but something stirred in his lifeless heart upon seeing their futile resistance. Then, an idea surfaced in his mind.
It appears that the two of you are nearing the end of your lives. Little girls, may I interest you in a mutually beneficial deal?
Who are you?
What are you?
Blodwyn Ambrosia. I am but a lonely man who sought company to brighten my gloomy manor beyond the forest.
Having lived through centuries and millennia, the mysterious man was aware of his own charm. He spoke in a deep, velvety voice, knowing that mortals couldn't refuse his invitation. Indeed, he saw the change in the girl's eyes. Beneath their fear and wariness, a bud of curiosity began to bloom.
A drop of my blood in exchange for your eternal loyalty. I can promise you not only wealth, but also freedom from all that has ever hurt you. No longer will you suffer in those mortal shells of yours. You shall take on my name and forever live under my generous protection. What say you?
There was surprise and confusion in their gazes. The weakened girls, with the last of their strength, looked at each other. They were already in this state. They had nothing to lose. He waited and heard their feeble voices reaching out to him.
All our lives, we only ever knew despair.
If you can give us freedom, our loyalty will forever stay with you.
So we have a deal.
The man smiled, at last revealing a pair of sharp fangs peeking in the corner of his mouth. The man's presence shrouded in frost, yet that one drop of blood was warmer than anything they had ever touched in their life. The girls tasted iron in their mouths. Then, as the blood entered their bodies, all pain and burden suddenly evaporated. In that instant, they finally tasted freedom.
Who is it?
Do we have a guest?
Someone's here!
Someone's at the door. I think someone's at the door.
Should we greet them? Welcome to the Ambrosia Manor. My name is Lily.
And I'm Rose.
We're so pleased
to make your acquaintance.